Good morning, MedTubers. February is my birthday month. And yes, I am one of those ridiculous people who puts on a tiara at the beginning of the month and celebrates the entire time. Sorry, not sorry. I have managed many years on this planet, riding it around the sun in all of its ridiculous glory and frustration, and I deserve a month of frivolity if I want. And I do. So for the month of February, I will be posting much smaller, shorter, quick tidbit videos. Because we have a little trip planned in February, and it's my birthday, and it's Valentine's Day, and it's a shorter month. You know, it all kind of just comes together to lend to something a little bit different. Like I said, we'll be traveling a little bit, so I won't even be here in the house to do materials and things like that. So I figured, you know, instead of trying to rush and get ahead of things, I would just chill out, take a step back, and calm down. Because that's what we need to do as Montessori teachers and philosophers. So I pulled a couple of passages from Montessori's writings about the preparation of the teacher themselves. We hear a lot of discussion about materials and philosophy and the environment, but we don't often talk or hear about how a teacher is supposed to prepare themselves. And that's really important because I have seen teachers come into preschools with zero background in Montessori, and yet they are the greatest teachers because it's intrinsically part of their personality and who they are and how they see the world. And so to adopt the philosophies of Montessori is not a big stretch for them. They already approach children with respect. They already let the children lead them to what they want to do. They already have an intrinsic motivation to keep things neat and tidy. So those personal qualities lend themselves to a quicker integration of Montessori philosophy. And then I have seen teachers with massive amounts of degree on top of degree on top of degree on top of certification. They've got their masters in Montessori philosophy and education, and yet they walk into a classroom and at the end of an entire year, they still don't have any parent that actually has a relationship with them. They still don't have any child who seems or interacts with them in a personal way. And yes, those children might still be doing wonderful as far as their academics are concerned and their peace education is concerned and their whole child development is concerned. They might be doing great, but if there's no personal relationship with the teacher, they're missing something in that classroom. And I have seen teachers who on paper look like they should be able to accomplish these things, and yet they can't. Because it's just, as much as they learn, it's not part of who they are as a person. And that's okay, but it's a difference that I have seen with my own eyes. So for us to take the time to learn how we can prepare ourselves to teach Montessori to our classrooms or to our children is going to benefit you and your children exponentially and in the long run. So our passages today are about, like I said, teacher preparation. The first one comes from The Discovery of the Child, and she's talking about teachers and how they interact in the environment of the classroom. It is difficult to prepare such a teacher theoretically. She must fashion herself. She must learn how to observe, how to be calm, patient, and humble, how to restrain her own impulses, and how to carry out her eminently practical tasks with the required delicacy. She too has greater need of a gymnasium for her soul than a book for her intellect. A gymnasium for her soul. That's what a teacher needs, a gymnasium for her soul. Piggybacking on that just a little bit, at the very end of The Absorbent Mind, there's a little note on the teacher's preparation. and I'm just going to read one quick sentence. For one thing, she must keep her imagination alive. Now that's interesting to me because imagination in a Montessori classroom is a hot topic. But when you put that with a gymnasium for the soul, she's asking us as teachers and as parents in the Montessori philosophy to remember how to be a child, to remember not only the fun and interesting and wondrous things that there are about being a child, but the difficulties too. My son this morning had to wear his snow boots instead of his rain boots because his rain boots are worn on the bottom and water gets in. His snow boots zip up on the very front. They have a zipper instead of laces or anything. And that zipper, it gets stuck regularly because it's a tiny little zipper and the boots are really big and bulky, and so it gets stuck. He gets frustrated with that. So it's my job as the teacher to not get frustrated at his frustration, even though we're super late this morning because we woke up late, and even though we really should have walked out of the house 5 minutes before he started putting on the shoes. It's my job to calm down, stay calm, remain calm, and just assist. Remember, these boots get stuck. So you have to put your finger in and pull the little material out and pull the zipper down, and then you have to zip it back up. He's way too flustered in his brain at this point to do that, so I do it for him. But I'm talking to him while I do it, and I'm talking calmly. I'm not screaming and yelling about being late and leaving the house. I'm not getting frustrated and yanking things around. I'm talking calmly. And that's because I strive to remember that being a child is difficult. The frustrations are real, okay? They don't seem real to us as adults because we know, but they don't. They don't recognize that being a few minutes late for school is okay if it means that you are calm and you can function for the rest of the day. They don't realize that sticking their finger in the shoe to pull the little material out that's stuck in the zipper is all that's needed. They also don't realize that they have the coordination to do that, or maybe they don't have the coordination to do that and they know what to do, but they can't with their hands. That's my youngest daughter. She knows what needs to be done, but she can't always coordinate her brain and her hands and her body to do it. So she gets frustrated. So when we are discussing imagination and the gymnasium of the soul that a teacher needs to have, it's that childlike wonder, yes, of course. But it's also remembering the difficulty of being a child and using that to find compassion within yourself for a child. So just remember, as you're preparing yourself to teach in a classroom or in your home, it's okay to take time to stop and step back and learn how to observe, how to be calm, patient, and humble, how to restrain your own impulses, and how to carry out the eminently practical tasks with the required delicacy. Those are not easy things for us as adults to accomplish. So take the time to be calm within yourself, to observe what's happening around you, so that you can internalize those qualities within yourself, so that when you do need them in the heat of the moment of trying to put on the snow boot in the morning when everybody's already late, you can recall them just like a child can recall being able to pour water and stop before he spills. We are students as well. There's always something more for us to learn, and by learning ourselves and growing, we are showing our children further that we are not perfect. And so we do not expect them to be perfect. So, along these lines, I am taking February off. I will post the small little videos that come up throughout the month as we are moving around and experiencing things. But I will not sit down and do a whole lecture like this or a material necessarily, unless something comes up that is a material. We'll chat about it briefly, but I'm not going to go in depth about anything because I want it to be easy, breezy, oh so cheesy, because that's how we roll. So for the month of February, expect to see short, quick, fun, to the point videos that might not go too in depth, but if you comment below and let us know that you want a little more information on any of them, I am happy to respond and help you out, even send you an email if I need to. So that's it for now. We will see you back in the regular rotation of 1 to 2 videos every week in March. Thanks, guys.